Hey, it's me, Double D, the dumbass who thought, yep, the War Within. That's the one. That's the expansion where I'm going to get into tanking Mythic Plus and pushing keys and pushing IO and seeing how high I can go. Well, shame on me, because Season 1 turned out that was the season of tanks getting absolutely railed, and Season 2 seems to be the season of chasing mobs. And what do I mean by that? Well, there's a little foundational, fundamental element to tanking. It's more like a baseline thing that everyone who does it has to do. It's called holding the attention of monsters, mobs, bosses, you name it, from turning around and beating the shit out of your friends. Because that is exactly what they will do. They will turn and slap the shit out of your buddy who's just trying to do his job and damage some monsters. And they'll do it within 2/10 of a second because they're going to turn and white hit him for 13 mil, and there's going to be absolutely nothing he could have done about that. It was apparent, even on the PTR. In the beta testing, you could see tank damage was low. And now I know there's going to be some guys out there who say, no, well, tanks shouldn't do damage. They should just worry about tanking. Well, you fucking nerd, you kind of got to do damage to do that job right now. Doing big damage is cool. Let me do it too. That would be nice. And I'm not asking to be able to do as much as a DPS, but when my buddy is cranking out 48 mil on a pull, I'd like to be able to do something so that they don't just walk away from me. When it gets to the point where, like shamans with the Ascendance thing, where they don't even want to play the 3-minute Ascendance build because they're worried about pulling threat, I think it's time to take a look. I don't even know if that's meta. I don't even know if that's the build they're supposed to go. But if a large determining factor in whether or not you play a high damage, cooldown focused build or not is so that the mobs don't hit you, that's a problem. And who am I going to tell about it? I'm not going to call Blizzard up and be like, oh, yes, hello, customer service. Those guys don't exist anymore. There's no one there. This isn't even a real fucking phone. Even if people hold DPS for 5-10 seconds, I am one blood beast away from being the limpest dick on the battlefield. Those nameplates are changing from red to orange pretty quick. I'm seeing losing threat in my nightmares, dude. Just make them hit me. Make them hit me. If I'm breathing and standing there, can we at least give us that much? The baseline performance for any tank, anyone stepping into a dungeon, anyone doing a boss, whatever it is, let them focus on us. I remember asking myself in Season 1, when the tanks being able to self-sustain and take care of themselves was a big, hot button issue and a topic of debate. Who is asking for that? I kept wondering, who is asking for that? Because the people actually playing it don't seem to want that. The guys playing tanks. I understand if it can get here because we just didn't know, right? Like, despite the testing, despite people talking about it pretty early on, maybe we just don't know. We haven't seen people get their gear, how the builds work. Some patches change up some DPS specs. Okay, the meta shifts a little bit, and some people start absolutely blasting and dumping 50 million damage per second into a pack of mobs. Maybe you didn't expect that. Dude, I'm just walking into 15s and 16s right now. That's all I'm doing. Just trying to gather up some mobs. But I gotta worry about the hunter that I play with who is misdirecting me to snap threat later when the buff falls off. What the fuck is that? Does that seem like a bug to you? Something that should get fixed? It does to me. And we'll talk about the bugs. Talk about the bugs for a second. Why is it that the throw glaive ability does nothing? Does nothing. Says generates high threat. Compared to fucking what? The sigils? Because they also do 0. And yeah, if it generates high threat of 0, even if it's 0 to the millionth power or whatever the fuck, that does nothing. You are sitting there using the tools you have to try and group up some mobs so that you can do a pull, so that you can time a key, so that you can do big damage, so that your group can have fun and they don't work. What the fuck is that? What is that? What tank is walking into these packs, doing these dungeons, doing these pulls, and thinks, gee, I hope I need to be challenged in the threat I'm generating. Who asked for that? It happens all the time. Every 2 minutes, I gotta be puckering my ass because they might just fuck around and find out that these mobs will walk over and sure enough, sock them in the jaw so hard they're sent to the start of the instance and we say GG in T. That's all it takes. It could be over just as quick as that. Why is this role continually put into a frustrating box? What the fuck is wrong with letting us get to the fun part? I'm going to give you some gimmies, just real quick. I'm going to fire them off. Feel free to throw these next bullet points into whatever patch notes you want, okay? Number 1, tanks now self-sustain themselves. They do it on their own. Fuck a healer. Tanks do not have to kite mobs ever. Excellent. Another banger. Thirdly, threat is on the tank as long as they're breathing and have at least 2 fingers. Maybe debatable on the fingers. And I don't mean to sound like a dick when I talk about this stuff. It's just a little agitating when you go and look at those patch notes. How long have these bugs been in the game? How long? How long has it been? How many keys got to be ran? How many videos of dungeons have to be made? How many old world professions do we have to level to get threat enchants before something gets done about this shit? And I get it that DPS can be horny. Don't get me wrong, I've been there. You want to go fast, you want to go big, you want to do damage. I get that. This is 5-10 seconds down the line, in the middle of a fucking pull. And people are just building up and pressing their cooldowns that they're supposed to want to press. And now it's an issue, and now they're on the floor. And what is the counterplay there? What are they going to walk away from that and think, oh, I really should have played that a little better. I should have done something different. Different what? What is the counterplay? Go AFK? You can't do that. I fully expect in the next patch notes that we'll see the old BFA tailoring, whatever it is, will be nerfed into the ground. Instead of actually buffing the threat situation, instead of actually addressing the root cause of the problem, when the answer is for your friends to take their hands off the keyboard, that ain't it. That can't be the answer. We gotta do something different, brother. Come on, man. Come on, man, I want to go fast, I want to go big, I want to go hard. Let me go around that track, let me get in that dungeon, let me blow them up. Come on, man, dang on fucking Mythic Plus, man. I'm trying to, the plus is, I want to plus more damage. Slide in there, get that checker flag, woo! What the hell am I saying? Come on, man. This just can't be the point of contention. This shouldn't be the challenge that has to be overcome. Mitigating damage, grouping up mobs, interrupting stuff, having control of a pack, sustaining, yes, all of those things make sense, but the threat shit. Dude, if I see another orange nameplate, while all I'm trying to do is just group stuff behind a pillar, I'm gonna fucking crash out. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna... Oh, what's that? You guys got the next set of patch notes. Oh, that's great. What's going on? Oh, you're nerfing all DPS players' DPS by 50% so that they stop pulling threat. Yeah, you know what? I'm sure they'll love it. That's definitely the type of answer I was looking for. We are so fucked.